Michel Barnier fears Boris Johnson will override parts of the Brexit withdrawal agreement with new domestic tax laws as the UK presses ahead with no-deal planning. The government will reintroduce elements of the Internal Market Bill in the Commons next week in a move which will send shockwaves across Europe. The Prime Minister has stood firm on the legalisation which paves the way for internal trade to continue from Northern Ireland to the rest of the UK if there is no formal trading relationship struck with the EU. Ministers support the changes despite acknowledging the plans could breach parts of the Northern Ireland Protocol, aimed at preventing a hard border down the Irish Sea. A finance bill will also be tabled to authorize the creation, extension or increase of taxes or other charges. Brexit trade talks remain at a standstill and Mr. Barnier had told officials in Brussels he is closely monitoring the developments in the Commons. EU leaders have already condemned the UK for attempting to go back on the deal signed in January. According to officials present in the meeting of EU ambassadors on Wednesday, the legislation would not be an immediate deal breaker for the bloc over fears the EU would be blamed. One EU diplomat said, "It's the EU's strategy to never walk away, as that would make it too easy for London to blame us." Meanwhile, Ireland's Foreign Minister Simon Coveney warned the UK against pressing ahead with the bill. He insisted the move would indicate the UK does not want a trading relationship with Europe. Mr. Coveney said, "I think if they do that, it will be a clear signal to the EU that this process is not going to conclude well. It will be a signal that they effectively don't want a deal. I really hope that doesn't happen. We have certainly given signals in as respectful, but in as blunt a way as we can, that would be a really big mistake at this stage in negotiations." The Internal Market Bill will return the Commons on Monday after it was rejected by the House of Lords last month. Peers also inflicted defeats on the government over devolution matters, amid concerns that the bill brushes aside the freedoms of Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland. Jacob Rees-Mogg, the leader of the House of Commons, said the government will be pushing back on all amendments made by the Lords. Speaking in the Commons this afternoon, he said, "First of all, it is a real bill that will be coming forward.